Death Note was an anime TV series back in, I think, maybe 2007, and it pretty much tells the story of Light Yagami, a teenager who finds a notebook left behind by a Shinigami, a god of death, and he can write the name of whoever he wants in it, provided that he's a face in his mind and their actual name, and they will die. He can also specify how they die, when they die, blah blah blah, but if he doesn't write any of that, then they just die 40 seconds later of a heart attack. And then eventually he begins to kill so many criminals and convicted felons and murderers and things like that, that the FBI begin to hunt him down as a serial killer. Not the FBI, but, well, the FBI is involved, but everyone pretty much, just all these police organizations. That's the simple explanation. Now, this is an anime TV series. I've never watched an anime before. It came highly recommended from multiple friends, so I decided to finally just watch it. It was all on YouTube. So I watched all the English dubbed versions, and I was blown away. It was really, really awesome. It starts out really cool, like I said, with Light finding the notebook and doing all these things. He decides he wants to become justice. And Light is a very, very interesting character because he's clearly a psychopath, and he's not very sympathetic. And this is from someone who watched Dexter, which is a very similar thing with him hunting down serial killers. This Light is doing more or less the same thing, but for some reason I found his way of doing it significantly more crazy. Something about the way he was written, I guess. A few of the other characters are also really good. I really liked Ryuk, the Shiyogami whose Death Note it was that Light's found. He was really funny. He brought in a lot of the much needed comic relief because there are a lot of very heavy moments in this show. It's more or less all about death and murder and evading the police. And then of course L, who pretty much is the mysterious leader of the investigation against Light. Kira, I guess, as his becomes publicly known. And L is absolutely amazing. He's one of the smartest characters out there, but so is Light. And that's what made the show awesome. When Light and L came together and just had this conflict with their minds, and they're manipulating people like pawns and just saying if I do this, then he'll do this, but if I say this, then he'll think I mean this, but maybe he's testing me. And it was just, these are two of the smartest characters ever, and they're arguing, and it's just amazing what they can do. It was really, really, it was written fantastically. The writing is great. The animation style, I guess it's typical anime, at least from what I've know about anime. Like I said, I'm not well versed in it at all, but it did work pretty well. I liked it. The Shinigami were designed pretty cool, like Ryuk and Rem. Yeah, the writing and the plot and the pacing, that was what one of the show did really, really well. It's definitely not stretched out too long. It's 37 episodes. Each of them is about, I think, 20 minutes. And it paces it perfectly. There's not really any moment. There obviously have to be more climactic moments, but more or less it's at the same pace. It's not slow, but it's not oh, we're sprinting to get to the end. It's a very, very good pace. It was exciting, but it wasn't too much in your face. I will say there is a moment when something happens in the show, probably 2/3 of the way in. It's a major event, and then after that happens, the show loses a lot. It does pick it up by the finale, though. The finale is amazing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit with some spoilers, so I'll put a link here to skip the spoilers, so click it if you do not want me to spoil this, and I highly recommend that if you haven't seen the show, you click it, because you don't want this to be spoiled. Okay, so assuming you're gone already, I think episode 25 is one of the best episodes of the show. It's the one when L dies. And it was a very, very well done episode. They dealt with it fantastically. But then after L's gone, there's this giant void in the show where they try to fill that with Near and Mello, I think his name was. But they're just nowhere near as good as an antagonist as L was. L was a genius. Near is he's technically just as smart, but he's just this little kid. He's not cool. You don't want to really root for him. L was my favorite character. And it's not just I'm okay with them killing a great character as long as it's good after they're gone. But luckily they do bring it back by the finale. I did like that. The finale was awesome, if you saw the finale. I'm not really going to talk about the finale too much, but it was very, very good. I really liked how they ended all the characters' arcs. and just really brought the show to a really satisfying conclusion, even though it would have been better if it was Elle there to catch him. Okay, so now you should be getting back if you clicked for the spoilers. So that's pretty much all the thoughts I have on Death Note. It's really, really well done. It's really well executed. The voice acting is great. The writing is great. Plot's great. Pacing's great. It's all really, really great, except for that one thing when like about a third of the show is kind of just not as good as the rest of it. And that really, really brought this down, because otherwise it would have been probably an A+. But I think I'm going to give Death Note an A. Now, probably today I'm going to post a video about the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, because, oh my god, that's amazing. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.